Is the new ST-1 SPR from Tease the best going deal right now for a Strat style guitar? Let's get into it and you decide. When I found out that this is the color I was going to get to review this new version of this model from Tease, I was pretty excited. As you may have seen, they released a bunch of new colors, brought back some of the favorite colors, fan favorites, things that people really seem to like. The names are always really creative, so check out the website if you want to get the latest names and color variety. Now, I just opened this. I haven't played it. I have not really looked closely because I wanted to save all that for on camera to get into the details. But I will point out the specs have been updated again, like Tease does when they come out with new runs of each guitar. They're constantly updating, constantly upgrading, and adding new features. This particular one did come with a pro setup and upgraded locking tuners, which I think is pretty awesome. I personally prefer locking tuners. On my own personal one that I ordered recently, I did opt for the same, the pro setup and also the locking tuner upgrade. So to go over some of the things that this model has, it does have barrel style string trees, which are an upgrade from the previous style. The locking tuners are new and improved, so the specs say that these are even better than the previous version, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. It still comes with a bone nut. The logo has been updated. And of course, this has the nice maple fretboard with stainless steel frets, ball ends. But this is really cool. So when you purchase a Tease guitar and you opt for the $50 pro setup, you get to choose the strings, your own string gauge, your own brand out of a couple options, and they polish the frets to a very, very fine polish. So you actually get these super, super slick, highly polished frets, which is awesome. And these feel like glass. You get to choose the action, you get to kind of dial in whatever preferences you like, whether you like, the treble side a little higher or whatever your playing preferences dictate. So you can actually contact Tease Guitars when you place an order and get the pro setup and really dial in those specifics for $50. I believe the electronics have been upgraded a bit too. And one thing I do like about this model is it actually specifies that these come with dime-sized pots. A lot of companies just put dime-sized pots in guitars and they don't really point it out. So at least there's true transparency when you look at the specs. It actually specifies dime-sized pots. And there's nothing wrong with those. They're fully functional. These ones actually feel really, really smooth. They're high quality for sure. Now, just speaking of transparency, I do need to make sure that I point out I did receive this guitar for doing the review, so it was sent to me at no cost. I'm not getting paid. All of what I say is my own opinion. So if I do see anything that I don't like or don't love, I will point that out. Comes with a 5-way switch, 3 single coil pickups. These are new and improved ceramic single coils. They are wax potted, so they're nice and quiet, just like the previous version, but I believe these ones have been upgraded a little bit. This has sort of the vintage style saddles, which are super comfortable. And actually these come with the short screws, so the screws don't poke out the top. So if you're palm muting or resting your hand on the bridge, you don't feel them kind of jabbing into your hand, which I really like. Now looking this over, this is sweet. For this new run, I believe this is new. We do have a contour. The plate has been changed. It's got a logo on it. And this is shaved back a little bit, so you can reach these upper frets better. So much more comfortable to play. It looks sweet too. You definitely can't go wrong there. The neck fits in the neck pocket really, really nice. That's something that I always kind of look for to see how good the fit is. I don't see any gaps or any issues. I tend to leave the back plates on. I take them off when I need to, but I put them back on after. A lot of people are like, I rip it off and I lose it. I don't care. I keep it on. Tell me in the comments, do you keep your back plate on or do you take it off when you have a Strat style guitar? So also let me know in the comments what you think about this color or which color out of this lineup you would prefer and why. So this one now also has a serial number. I don't know what all this means, but one thing I really like about the serial number is it starts with NY. So Tease Guitars is based in New York, and it's kind of cool that the serial number starts with NY. That's a nice personal touch. So actually just looking at these tuners and feeling them, it really kind of reminds me of like Fender locking tuners. It's got a much larger knurled nut here to lock the string in place. The screw-in mechanism feels really, really rugged, really strong, and I can actually see the tuner itself looks probably stronger or a little more robust than the previous version, which was already pretty good. This fingerboard actually looks and feels rolled just a little bit, so the edges are not like sharp corners, so it's nice and comfortable. Now it does have the sort of standard thinner trem block. I don't have a problem with that. I do assume that if this had a full-size thicker block, that the guitar would cost a bit more. So just kind of top to bottom or front to back or head to tail, whatever you want to say, I'm going to run through. I love the grain. I think the headstock looks really good. The string trees are straight and squared off, so they are lined up nicely. The string runs through perpendicular, so they're not kind of crooked, weird, adding weird tension to the strings where you don't want it. I checked it in playing position as well, but on camera here, this is easier. There is relief, just a little bit, just about what I would personally set mine at as well. Let's just do a simple check here. So yes, this comes in at a hair below 1.5. I really like 1.5, and this really is just a hair under 1.5, which to me is awesome. I'm not a big fan of white pickguards on most guitars. I love that it's black, it just works better on this guitar. If this were white, I would swap it to black, so I don't have to do that. Even getting into like the weeds here, these sort of like rubber gaskets here on the strap button, I don't like the like super fuzzy cloth ones that get like frayed and start kind of pulling apart. Of course, this also comes in a gig bag. It's shipped in the gig bag, which only makes sense. There's, I think, something like 5 millimeters of padding, which is better than a lot of the free gig bags that you get with guitars. I really like that the logo is embroidered here. It's not that like sort of screen printed stuff that doesn't ever look good and it never comes out right. So the embroidery is another touch that just makes quality, and it just demonstrates the quality. This thing feels great. Like, it's the perfect weight. It's really well balanced. The frets feel awesome. The tuners, the little bit that I've used them, feel great. So I really have no complaints here. This one comes in at exactly 7.5 pounds. In that 7 range, that's like perfect. I've listed a whole bunch of things that I love about this guitar. Personally, I prefer if there is a full-size block in a guitar, but again, that would bring up the price, rightfully so. I think it makes sense to keep this at an entry-level price to compete with entry-level instruments. I think it makes sense that the block is not full-size. We're going to plug this in, and you're gonna get to hear it. You already know that I like this thing, at least before it's plugged in. Ooh. Just through my mic. No buzzing whatsoever. Let's crank it up. Let's go through all the pickup settings. So we've got the bridge. Position 2, we've got the first 2 pickups. So we've got the bridge and the middle. Middle. Just to show you the contrast bridge, middle. And of course you can adjust the tone. Dialed it right back to where it was. Okay, so we're going to position 4 now. So this is middle and neck pickups. And let's go to the neck. It sounds full, it sounds rich, it sounds like a Strat. People talk all day about Alnico versus ceramic pickups. Keep in mind, a lot of the best-selling Seymour Duncan pickups are ceramic. Yes, this is a lower-priced Strat-style guitar, and it comes with ceramic magnets. They are wax-potted. They're quality, they're dialed in to get the sound that Tease is looking for. There are crappy Alnico, and there are crappy ceramics. These aren't crappy. If you are interested at all in getting any products from Tease Guitars, please use my promo code RYAN5, lowercase R-Y-A-N, number 5. You're gonna save $5 on anything at teaseguitars.com. Yeah, I know it's only $5, but the cool thing is you're also telling Tease that you saw this video, and I really appreciate that. So far, there's been a lot of really good results from my videos. There have been some sales logged, so I really appreciate any support you can give this channel, but you're also giving support to a local company. We have heard it clean, let's hear it dirty. I have the gain halfway up. I think this guitar is priced a lot like a Squier Affinity, but in my personal experience, it's a big upgrade compared to the Affinity. Personally, I think this is the way to go. I know a lot of people like to have Fender on the headstock. I like that this speaks for itself. You get a lot more for every dollar that you spend when you buy a Tease guitar than you do for a lot of these other leading brands. I wouldn't buy them, and I wouldn't keep making these videos if I didn't truly believe in the product. So I highly recommend, if you've been on the fence about checking out Tease Guitars, you've really got nothing to lose. For this price, I think it's going to be really hard to find a better bet. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I've got lots of cool videos on this channel. So right here on the screen, I have the subscribe button. Please subscribe if you haven't, and another video that you can watch. So check it out.